Cruise news time. Well, I've been asked to stop doing the cruise news. I get asked almost every day in the comments by at least one person to stop doing the cruise news. Should I stop? Should I not stop? Let's talk about that. But look, this is even like a fake intro. Like I came up with that thumbnail and this intro after I've edited the whole show. It's been a real struggle I got writer's block or something. What do you call it when you got video block? I think the show's interesting. It's fairly long. I'm going to go over a lot of cool stuff about Lido, Loca, about cruise news. What was our most popular video? Did clickbait play a role? But here's the clickbait intro, and now here's the I'm struggling to come up with an intro, and then we'll get into the show. Hang out. It's Sunday, for goodness sake. Cruise news, let's talk about it. Other intro, here we go. Cruise news time, and the news is I don't have any cruise news to talk about today, even though there is cruise news. It's just I'm in one of those moods. How about this? Are you curious as to what video did the most views for us this year? Maybe how many subscribers did we gain? I guess let's do that. Let's recap Lido Loca's 2021 cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. If I sound frustrated, it's because I've been sitting here for an hour and a half trying to record a show for you guys today. You may not understand or care what the struggle is to come up with creative content on a daily basis, but sometimes it's hard. And again, I'm not complaining. I love my job. I have the best job ever. But holy moly, it's complicated sometimes. Like my mission is to understand what the community is concerned about and then take the data, which is the cruise news, the source material, and tell the story that connects with the stuff that you guys are concerned about. And some days it hits you right in the face. It falls out of the sky like acorns in the winter, and you got the cruise news and you got some stuff to talk about, and sometimes it's just hard. And so I've been scratching my head all day, but I did want to tell the story of cruise news in 2021. I feel like 2021 was the year of cruise news, and we saw cruise news in a whole new way in 2020 and 2021, moving out of the written word, moving out of the blogosphere, moving into YouTube, a video representation of the cruise news. And I just wanted to talk about that and tell you how many subscribers we gained and what our most popular videos are. As I like to always do, let me tease you a little bit. What kind of content do you think was our most popular video this year? Was it a cruise news story? Was it a cruise vlog? Was it cruise tips? Was it a packing video? Our most viewed video on the channel of all times is a cruise tips video. So what do you think for 2021? Go ahead and leave a guess in the comments below. But let's talk about cruise news in 2021. You remember at the beginning of 2021, there was no cruising. So much of the coverage of the cruise news in 2021 was trying to take the news stories of the day and connect it to an idea whether or not cruising would resume. And then once cruising resumed, a lot of the content during the second half of the year was taking the cruise news stories of the day and trying to connect it to ideas that people were concerned about. Protocols, will my cruise go? How will the cruise experience be different? That's pretty much where we're at. And before I get too deep into all of this, I just got to say a big thank you. I did not know that my role would be to comment on cruise news. I did not know that my role would be to connect with you guys, take the data that's coming in the form of source cruise news and make that connection for you guys to break it down. Now, certainly in my life, those are my skill sets. That's what I've done my whole life. I've taken complex things, I've broken them down, I've communicated them out to people that needed to know information. And I had been resistant to that in this YouTube channel. I really said, okay, I'm going to be some creative cruise vlogger, some cool tipster, that kind of thing. And I had pushed aside some of those core skills that I had. I didn't want to come off as a smarty pants. I just wanted to be like cool cruise guy on a cruise ship, funny Tony, which part of my personality. And man, 2020, 2021 smacked me around a little bit and said, look, here you are. At this moment in time, this is what people need, and do that. And I did that. And you guys responded, and it's been an amazing time going on cruise ships this year, reading through the comments, people saying, we appreciate the work that you do. Crew members, we appreciate the work that you do. It kind of got us through a challenging time. And so going into it, I had no idea that that's what the outcome would be. I just tried to do the work. I tried to trust something greater than myself, that I was positioned exactly where I was supposed to be, using the skills and talents that I have to do a thing that people found helpful. So I don't want to get too emotional. You know, maybe I'm just lacking sleep, but thank you, a big thank you, and it's not lost on me that if you guys didn't watch and you guys didn't participate, and that I wouldn't be able to do this. So there's that. All right, let's talk about YouTube year over year. I am a data guy. Let's talk about 2020. So in 2020, the channel, the shows equaled 7.9 million views. 7.9 people watched the videos in 2020, or the library of videos, the catalog of videos. That equaled 850,000 watch hours. And in 2020, we gained 24,200 subscribers. So that was 2020. Now, of course, with anything that you do that you're hoping to improve a little over time, you're hoping that you will improve year over year. Well, let me tell you what, 2021 was gangbusters for Lido Loca. This year, we did 18.4 million views. So almost, well, doubled the views from the previous year. 2.1 million hours of watch time. That's mind-blowing that people watched me sitting in this room, Jenny and I on live streams, talking about cruising. 2.1 million hours, and we gained 71.7 thousand subscribers. So that's almost double everything. And you know, of course, we hit 100,000 subscribers. Again, an amazing, life-changing year as we were trying to get back to cruising. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Now, I'm going to jump over to the computer and share our top videos with you, and you guys will get a kick out of this. Now, of course, if you're old timers here, if you've been here for a while, you know that I enjoy sensationalism. I enjoy drama, but I like sensationalism and drama with substance. So I don't like drama for the sake of drama. I don't like sensationalism for the sake of sensationalism, but things that are salacious, the things that are dramatic because there actually is something there. It's interesting to me. It's a human nature. It's an observational thing that I like. And so I'm a big fan of the clickbait. And so the question going into this top 10 videos this year, what role did clickbait play? And I tell you what, one of the biggest challenges as somebody creating content, programming content for YouTube, is you got to get eyes on your show. And so how do you get eyes on your show? Well, of course, you've got to use intriguing titles. You got to use clickable thumbnails, but you have to do that in an honest way. And I'll show you how you can tell if you did it in an honest way or not. It's a constant evolution. You know, some days you hit the mark and some days you miss the mark big, and the numbers don't lie. So let's go and look. We'll start here at the bottom of the list. Let me kick it over and I will show you our top 10 videos of 2021. Here we go. Yay. So if you look at the bottom here, The Cruise Truth, this is the title. So the thumbnail, these people should not cruise. That's pretty clicky. The title, The Cruise Truth, don't let these people cruise. I don't even remember which people I was talking about. This was back on May the 17th, 2021. I think it was one of those deals where there was some sort of big debate going on about you know, protocols and stuff like that. I don't even think this video is about that. I think this is about some other tropes, you know, some bad cruisers, cruisers that cut lines, stuff like that. But yeah, clicky thumbnail, intriguing title, and this one was watched pretty long. So here's the thing that you got to look at. So the video was 6 minutes and 12 seconds long, and it was watched almost 60% of the video. The gurus out there say that if you're getting people to watch 50% of your video, that's pretty good retention. I'm shooting early on in the video to get 60 to 70%. I get that sometimes, but I'm okay that after this video has been out so long, it got 95,000 views and it's got close to 60% retention. That means that people got into the video and they didn't click away because they felt like they were getting what they were looking for. So that was not cruise news. Number 9 on the list, how to do the home COVID test for travel with results. And then COVID home test for travel, complete walkthrough. So that completely clicky thumbnail, because I feel like that's what people were wanting at the time. How do we do the COVID test? And then I made the title as searchable as possible because I believe that people were searching for that. That one did 96,000 views, and that's watched 50% through. That's a pretty long video, 10 minutes and 31 seconds. I think once you start seeing the test go, you kind of get it, but a lot of positive feedback on that video. This one, just a few days ago, cruise news, infected cruise ships return to the U.S. plus talk to for my clothes on NCL Joy. fairly clicky title, right? It's intriguing. What happened when the infected cruise ships returned? And then also the thumbnail. The rule of thumb on the thumbnail is only to use a few words, but I think this white on black, you can see it pretty well. 3 infected cruise ships returned to the U.S. and this happened. Now, again, sensationalism with substance. I wanted to make the point that the cruise ships that were infected came back and they dropped their passengers off and then they went back out as normal. They came back on their normal date. They left out normally. And look, I definitely trying to hook the haters on that one, right? Hook the haters, hook the faithful. What happened? This happened. I like that title. I know some people, I got a little bit of pushback on that. Like, it definitely is clicky, right? That was the point. But 56% watch time. So 5 minutes and 48 seconds, people are watching it over 50%. And I feel like it delivered 98,000 views. Now, here we go. Every once in a while, again, so here's June the 25th. I'm still trying to hone in my game. This title, I mean, this thumbnail is super clicky, clickbaitish, right? Game over. Game over. You got a virus sitting on a cruise ship. Breaking cruise news, the end of cruising, question mark? COVID cases found on Royal Adventure of the Seas. Now, completely playing into this idea that every time you hear COVID on a cruise ship, the mainstream media would just run around, chicken with the head cut off. This is it. This is over. And then in the comments, you get these people that have never been on a cruise that are just like, out there trolling. That's it. Cruise is over. And so, again, another story where I can pull you in and talk to you about what the is when it comes to cruising. Fairly clicky title, fairly clicky thumbnail, and 50% watch time. Here we go. This one, popular, 100,000 views in position 6. Stop from boarding my Royal Caribbean cruise. And look, I just noticed that the blue light went out. That's how long I've been sitting here. I ran through a whole charge of the blue light. What a day. Number 6, stop from boarding my Royal Caribbean cruise. Embarkation day stress. Watch before you cruise. Completely intriguing. Great clicky thumbnail. Cruise day stress. And completely honest, that I loved. I got a couple comments like, "Oh, this is sensational." Yes, it is sensational. I got stopped from boarding my cruise. That was the point. I tell you what, like as you watch the evolution, this is a November video. I'm proud. I'm really proud of some of these intriguing clicky thumbnails. This one watched almost 70%. A good old story time video, 100,000 views. Here we go. Cruise news just from December the 21st, just from a couple days ago. Cruise news, Royal ship returns to port early. MSC cancels, NCL testing update, and more. So sometimes I'll do the thing where I try to include as many of the titles as possible. I think sometimes people don't realize it's a cruise news show. They think they're only getting the thing on the thumbnail. A lot of times people just comment on the thumbnail without watching the show. This was a 7-minute video, only watched 44%. Again, some of these cruise news stories people don't care about. And so I also have to experiment where I put the cruise news story, because you want people to get to the end. Do I put the interesting story at the end? And then they're like, "Oh, how come you didn't give me that story on the front?" So much stuff to figure out. Again, this is another, shocked video here. Returns to Florida with sick passengers and the CDC responds, right? A pretty clicky thumbnail. And I think I told the story in the beginning. I think that's why people click out after that. But yeah, we're getting there. That's a cruise news story. Here in the number 4 spot, 10 big cruise differences. What it's like to cruise in 2021, Adventure of the Seas. Good old thumbnail. Cruising is back, but is it good? This was after the very first cruise. People watching 60% of the video, 131,000 views. Now we back to another update here in position 3. Cruise news update, cruise ship lockdown. Ports say no to cruise ships, Royal Caribbean test cruise. So this is in July. This is right when cruising restarted again. Of course, you talk about a lockdown. People are paying attention. Passenger and crew lockdown, 133,000 views, only a 4-minute video. People are only watching half of it. That may have been a little too clicky. So that's what I do. I'm trying to balance how much is clicky, how much are people, responding to it. Do they feel like they're getting the value? When I start to see these watch times go down, it either happens a couple ways. If the thumbnail is way too clicky, then people just respond to the thumbnail. Like you can tell in the comments that they're not even responding to the video. They're just responding to the thumbnail, which is frustrating because I got to waste my time and read a comment that has nothing to do with the show. They're not contributing to the community. They're just popping off for the thumbnail. That's my fault though, because I made the thumbnail clicky enough where they didn't even want to watch the video. They just want to shoot their mouth off. And so that happens sometimes too. And so again, it's an evolution. Even next year, I spend a lot of time on these titles and thumbnails. Even next year, I'm sure there will be a lot on it. Number 2, cancel my Carnival cruise. RCL, cruisers not allowed to board. Cruiser bacon shortage. Cruise news. We canceled our cruise. I feel like, that's exactly the story that I told. This is a great, classic, intriguing title and thumbnail. We cancel. Why did you cancel your cruise? This was a time when people were going cruising again. How come? This is when we got the news that I think you needed the 3rd shot for immune compromised people. So it was a good story, and people were watching it 50% of the time, 56% of the time, 158,000 views. So the last video, the number 1 spot, I think it may have 190 views, 190,000. I'm not sure. What do you think? Cruise vlog. Do you think it is cruise news? I'm going to let you hang for just a second, because one thing that's also helped us grow this year is the call to action. Some people don't understand the call to action, but it is a YouTube best practice. Really, sometimes I use a reference that, you did not receive because you did not ask. Well, that's true when it comes to subscribers. YouTube themselves say that the data fleshes out that when you have a call to action where you ask people to subscribe, you're more likely to get more subscribers. So with all that said, if you like staying up to date with everything that's going on, wait, let me get you full screen. With all that said, if you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. Again, yesterday I said our stretch goal for 2022 is 18 million subscribers, and a lot of people subscribed. So I'm sticking with that. 18 million by the end of this year. You better be a part of that number. Please hit the subscribe button. All right, let's look at the number 1 video for us for 2021. Bad news for Carnival cruisers, and breaking cruise news: Carnival cancels 2022 cruises. Now this is the worst. It's not the worst, but it fleshes out that this was not well received. And so 198,000 views. That means that the title and the thumb, very clicky. People are clicking on it. They're getting into it. YouTube's watching it. They're recommending it out. However, it's only being watched 32% of the time. The story was Carnival had canceled some upcoming 2022 cruises for a few cruise ships. And maybe I could have added some more information. But this thing took off like gangbusters, and it was a bummer that people weren't watching it more. I contemplated changing the title, but sometimes you just got to let it run. So yes, our number 1 video this year, the height of clickbait, as it were, and a good video to teach a lesson. It's really the biggest challenge with programming the show. I know that the material that I'm dealing with is cruise news, and I know that it can be dry sometimes. And so the idea of making the connection point between what's important in the cruise news to the cruise community, that's the nut I'm trying to crack every day. And part of cracking that nut is giving it a title and giving it a thumbnail that draws that association so that people will watch it, so that I can give them the information that I think is important to them. I hope it's obvious. I'm never trying to deceive anybody, but I want people intrigued. I want people to be excited to come in and watch the show. And sometimes I do that really well, and sometimes I don't do that very well, but it's all a learning process, and I appreciate you guys watching. Boom, that's your cruise news. That's a look behind the scenes at Lido, Loca. Selfishly, the question I want to ask today is, when did you start watching the show? Leave that in the comments. I would love to just get some idea of how long you have been with us. And I tell you what, I'm super excited about 2022. I can't wait to share more experiences and cruise news with you. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Please hit the like button, or I'm going to fail miserably with the clickbait a lot next year. No, I don't think so. I'm evolving. But please hit the like button. This is Tony with Lido, Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.